Welcome to my channel. I want to talk about soul purpose, abundance, and creating a lifestyle that is in alignment with who you truly are, which is your beautiful soul. So welcome, I'm Kathleen from Awakening Meraki. This is going to be probably quite raw and real and authentic because that's my style. And it will just be completely in flow. I have not created any kind of plan as to what I'm going to talk about other than the soul purpose aspect and just coming into that alignment with your soul and how soul brings everything to you, which is why getting into receiving energy is so important. So I really just want to talk about this and I guess really get to the crux of why you've been awakened and how this leads into purpose, whatever that looks like for you. Now, this particular video will be more aligned to those that are going to step into their own business. However, there will be still lots of nuggets of gold in here and little gems that can support you, even if that purpose is doing not-for-profit work. It could be a different job, a promotion. It just could be doing some beautiful work out in the community, right? Voluntary stuff, like just whatever. But this is probably going to be more focused around those starting up their own business, or you're in it already, but you want to elevate. Many of people that I work with are already in their own soul purpose, but they want to elevate it. And so I want to touch on all of that. But how I'm going to do this is through my own story, because I want people to really, really resonate that this journey, if you have been awakened through the catalyst of a twin flame, and look, this really can apply to anybody, but those that are particularly on this awakening through the twin flame, this really is an ascension at quite speed, and particularly for those that have awakened in the last sort of 5 years. Those that awakened earlier, your awakening, I believe, you either will resonate or you won't, but what I believe and what I see and feel into is that was for, it was you. The reason why many haven't come into union is that wasn't the initial plan for your awakening, right, to come straight into union or within the next few years. It was for a very different reason, and I haven't done a YouTube on different waves. There's plenty of that content out already, but that's not to say that that's not going to happen now, okay? So just want to get really clear on that. It's irrelevant, 20 years, 10 years, 2 years, 1 year, right? This applies to everybody. And it's these energies on the planet are making us shift through a lot faster as well. So let's get into this, particularly around my story. And look, I've shared a lot of this on YouTube already. However, for many of you that listen to my content, this won't necessarily be new stuff, but you might again still pick up some more little gems in the mix here. But I guess my biggest message that I want to get really across and make it really super clear is the twin flame journey is about you. It is not about the relationship. And I know that's going to trigger some of you. And that is not to say that that will not come into fruition at some point, but only when you can really anchor in your frequency, your soul frequency, okay? And that looks different for everybody. I have got many people that have come into union with their twins. Some have done it really quickly. Some have been on this journey much longer. It's just really about your soul's plan, the lessons that you need to go through that are within your soul blueprint that need to be shifted out of your energy fields. So no one can tell you when that is going to be. You will know, and I will always teach and guide you to come back to soul, come back to self. This is where your inner knowing is. And I'm just here as a guiding light to help people. But soul alignment is this. It is your twin flame for sure. It's also your purpose, whatever that looks like. It's also your abundance, okay? It's also your lifestyle that you're going to create. And this is what I really want to touch on today, because I know what it's like to sit in lack. I know what it's like to raise a family with somebody the ex-husband, in and out of work, and the instability that created in our family dynamics. I know what it's like to put a mortgage on a mortgage holiday. I know what it's like to refinance yourself because you've just at your limits, right? I've done it all. Was I raised in some wealthy family? No, I was raised in a middle-class family, but I know what it's like to sit in lack and to, really be struggling to pay the bills and get yourself into a bit of a financial mess. And I can honestly say a lot of that during that time, I was earning good money, but I was completely out of balance. I was completely an unbalanced, unawakened person on this planet in 3D, thinking that this was my lot and entrenched in the programming, okay? Super entrenched in the programming. This journey, I held on to the odd coaches that I heard that say, life will shift when you go all in and you make this journey about yourself. Intention must be on you. And intention is so important here because it is your come from, okay? It is the foundation of your day. It is the foundation of your energy and where you're going to then put that inspired action, okay? So it must be on you. It cannot be on anybody else. That is programming, and that is going to keep you in limitation and lack. And it's that fear, right? Holding on to things in 3D. What I do know on this journey is, and I see it time and time again with the beautiful people that I work with, is whatever you are attached to, wherever your lessons need to be, will fall away. Okay, so my marriage fell away before the twin came in, but it needed to fall away, and it should have fallen away a damn sight earlier. But anyway, we won't go down that path. The job definitely had to go. My house had to go. The city had to go. Friendships, not so much. I've had a couple, but mainly my core friends have remained my core friends. But I have received beautiful new friendships that just warm my soul. And those stunning people know who they are, and they are aligned to me. And many of them are on this journey. But I've got some beautiful friendships that have come in. And I know there'll be more. So, through my own personal journey, I went through a lot. I was still trying to recover from a very, very, very messy and traumatic divorce. I had some major stuff going on in my family, which I'm not going to go into on here, but it was not ideal. And amongst my own Kundalini awakening, the joys that the soul threw me on, fainting, smashing up arms, not working, concussion, sexual harassment claim at work. Like, honestly, it was just a big shit show. And that is because, why was it such a shit show? Because I was not in alignment, and soul was like, excuse me, it took you forever to learn your lessons in your marriage, so we're going to make sure this time it's so bloody loud and clear that you get out sooner. And so it was just so uncomfortable for me to be at work. It was so repelling, it wasn't even funny. And I remember getting shingles up my face. This is all through my Kundalini awakening and another big skin issue. And I look back and I'm like, what was that freak show of Kathleen? It was shocking. It was really shocking for probably about 18 months. And eventually I got out of my job, left my job, and just things started to unfold from there. And I took the brave move to buy this Awakening Meraki domain name. And I've just slowly built myself, right? While going through my own personal journey. Today, what can I say? This is the year 2025. My awakening started, I think, around 2019, 2018, but definitely was catapulted at a much more forceful rate sometime in 21, I think, in the middle of COVID. Anyway, my life was pitiful. That's probably the best way to put it. My life was pretty pitiful. I did not know who I was. I was very broken on the inside, and I felt suffocated and trapped, particularly in my job. I just was dragging myself. I was miserable, and it was just Groundhog Day. And I was working in primary health care, running huge urgent care clinics, so had a huge responsibility on my shoulders. And then you throw in COVID with that, right? So you can imagine in the primary health care sector, many will know this. I work with a lot of clients that are doctors and nurses. So it was full on. And I was, running big COVID testing centers and, just all the complexities that came with that. It was pretty tough. It was tough while going through ego death and all the addictive energy and stuff. It was tough. But I made a decision. The one thing about me is that I'm pretty bloody minded and stroppy. And even though bloody minded and stroppy is unhealthy masculine energy, it was my saving grace, because I was like, I am not doing this. I'm not having this life for me. And I'm going to cling on to the words that I'm hearing, that when you get through this, balance will come. Your life will shift. Did I have belief? I had a knowing, but I had a shit ton of fear-based energy going on at the same time as I was making that decision to leave my job. I look at my journey today, and here's what I want to say to everybody that's in the energy that I was in. And it's okay, we've all been there, right, at some point. And you can shift yourself through this. I work with people every day. I've got a beautiful membership, and the shifts and the joy and the pleasure that I receive from seeing the aha moments in people and the clarity, and yes, the twins are coming back in, and these opportunities are coming to them. It just blows my freaking mind apart. My day today has been around getting very clear and succinct on where I want to go in terms of my purpose, because I know what my purpose is. I know it's very much in this community. I know it's in that soul alignment space, and I equally know that at a global level that I want to have a bigger voice, and particularly work with teams in the corporate space and speak at events down the track, right? My whole career has been leading me to this moment. So when I first started this journey, or my business, I was not, and I don't see this as a business, right? This is just my purpose. It's a deep, deep calling. It really is a deep calling. And I created little mini goals, I guess you could call it. I now call them intentions, okay? But today I sat down, and I haven't finished it. I've still got a bit of work to go on it, but I've been creating a proper business plan with intentions, and it's a soulful business plan. Doesn't have any KPIs in it, because that just is limitation. Will it have some measures? Yes, you could call it KPIs if that's what you want, but it won't be. Not in the sense that we know it in that corporate space. It's very soulful. It's soul-centered. And I get to create the theme and the tone and the culture and whatever else I want to put words around that for my purpose and my business, because it's expanding and I have people already doing some stuff for me. I get to create that, as opposed to being stuck in a structure that was not resonating with me anymore. And just all the nonsense that goes in those structures, which are collapsing, by the way, and many of you will be called to purpose in those structures to help collapse them. My purpose is slightly different, but I got to create that business plan, which I'm still working my way through. And it's quite detailed and it's very comprehensive, but it's soulful. And the reason why I'm talking about this today is because intentions is where we manifest from. Okay? Clear intentions. You need to know what you're creating and why you're creating it, who are you creating it for. See, everything that I do is not for me. The abundance, I guess you could say, is the energy exchange I get from the universe, but actually the content and my creation is for those that need to resonate and hear my message, my soul message. And it's a deep soul message. And I want to get across that do you know what I put while I'm working out all the numbers and everything, right? For my intention is I will have 6 weeks holiday a year. And so my lifestyle comes first, right? Not anything else. My lifestyle comes before anything else because I now realize how integral that is and how we were never designed to work 50, 60, whatever stupid hours I was working a week, right? And many of you will be. We are not designed to do that. We never were designed. And that is why we go through burnout. I've been through it after my marriage ended, and, I was in a really bad place and I had to take 6 months off work then. So I've been in this toxic, high masculine energy and been completely broken and burned to the floor. This is even before the twin. And so I know that that is not how we are meant to be working. That is programming, and it's a lifestyle that I will never have for myself. And it's a lifestyle that I want to show others how to get on that path. And I can be that beacon of light to show you that there is a way. There is an absolute way to get out of the misery, to get out of the lack, to get out of the limitation. To be able to sit and write this plan today, whatever I want to call it, but we'll call it a business plan, and to look at the creation that I have created in 18 months, essentially, mostly in 12, and to know that I can carry myself financially off that plan and have been, to know that I can draw up a mortgage again later on this year, to know that I can travel and take my work with me wherever I am in the world, to know that I can show up for my friends and family events without putting in a bloody leave form and then begging for however long that I need off, just to know that I can spend Christmas with my girls and spend quality time with them without busting my ass, going back to work and still getting interrupted, is worth the awakening, is worth the ego death, is worth the bouncing in and out with the twin. It's worth the balancing with them. It's worth seeing them stand in their divinity. It's worth you coming into your divinity ultimately and then getting that reflected in ways that I can't put into words. This is available to anybody, okay? It's not just available to me. I'm just here as a light, shining my light, I guess, to be that guide for others, to say you can do this too, but it does take focus, and it means inward focus, not outward focus. It does mean adding in some pretty firm discipline in your daily life to get yourself out of the mind and the stories that mind creates. The mind is the problem, and we need to get it under control. We are all limitless. We are all abundance. The more you come into alignment with your soul, the more that will reveal itself in the 3D. But it's up to you. It's truly up to you to believe that people like me are not making this stuff up. I can tell you I have the most beautiful, incredible energy, and I have the most beautiful, incredible lifestyle that I never in a million years, the broken woman from a few years back, never would have looked at today and gone, yep. But now I just, it's literally, when you're in this energy, you are the universe. You're creating your experience. So what experience do you want to create? And it's through what I do today as to what shows up down the track. It's through the embodiment. Okay, so whatever's in that soul plan that I'm creating is going to be the embodiment of me. Yes, there will be some structure because it's healthy masculine energy. Yes, there will be some numbers in it because why not? You know, we are having a human experience at the end of the day. And so it's when you have really elevated, you will resonate with this limitless potential that you have. You are here to participate in the universe, not be succumbed to the programming. And this is what you've been awakened to participate, to shine your light, to know that that programming is not, it's not real, it's an illusion. And I know when we're early on in this journey, we're going, what the heck do you mean by an illusion? And I think the best way to explain this is that the stories create your reality. So if you're sitting in a storyline of, I need, let me just think of a classic example, because I've had to drop quite a few stories. So, you know, the stories could be, it just could be anything, right? It could be that there's a disagreement in your family and you are entrenched in that story, and then you go and tell that story to multiple people just to validate yourself, right? That story is not peaceful, it's not abundance, and it's not soulful. It is your perspective of what went down, which then gets shifted and shifted because we're constantly shifting versions of ourselves. And that's what I mean, that the story's not real. It was an experience that happened, but we create the reality of it, keep playing out through the stories that we keep continuing to cycle. And the key here is energy, learning about how the laws of the universe work, learning about the 7 Hermetic principles. They are key, because when your thoughts, and then you're in action. So if your thoughts are to ring up a family member and bitch and moan about this scenario, right, that played out with some other family member, you're now creating inspired action, which is energy. And that energy has now launched because that was your intention unconsciously, right? To create more drama where there isn't actually drama to be created. And we don't even realize we're doing it. It's programming, it's conditioning. Don't worry, we've all done it. So that then energy cycles out. That lax energy is now out into the universe, and it must come back to you. Your job is to collapse it. And so it will keep playing out. The family drama will keep playing out. Perceptions will be built, and all sorts of stories will be built within the family dynamics, right? When you cut yourself out of that, guess what happens? It drops. And this is where we shift. This is how we help elevate the consciousness on this planet. This is how we bring peace and harmony, not through all this story that our minds want to validate. So that's probably the best way to create the illusion, because the past and the future do not exist. They only ever exist in this now moment. So if you were picking up the phone and ringing your family member and going, oh, blah, 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 this happened, that past event is now happening again in this now moment. And that's where the illusion is. I hope this really resonates. I know I've gone on a little tangent, but I really want to get clear with everybody. You create your reality. Do you want more drama? Do you want more limitation? Do you want to stay stuck in jobs that don't resonate? Do you want to elevate your business? Do you want to be in abundance? Do you want to be focused on soul alignment? Because let me tell you, you will not regret it. And yes, it's hard, it's not been a walk in the park, but blimey, it's bloody well worth it. It is worth being awakened. It is worth it, because I am in the most stunning energy. I don't work for anyone else. I don't need to put annual leave forms in. I can plan my life however I want it to be. And the most important thing is that I feel beautiful and balanced, and it means that I can hold space to help others come into this stunning energy. And yes, union is all part of that, okay? Just so that we're all really, really clear. so that we're all clear. It's all part of it. Union is with self. It's your beautiful balanced energies, and then everything soul brings in when you've surrendered and you've let go, right? Because that's all part of manifesting, is to let go. It's in the letting go you release the tension, you release the knots within the energy. Think of it as a rope. Every knot is every time you're not surrendering, every time that you're trying to, your mind is trying to figure out, when are they returning? Why am I in lack? I've got to pay this bill. And then we perpetuate that story all the time. The stories need to drop. They're knots in the rope that need untangling. Think of it, I don't know, I'm about to pull my Christmas tree down in a few days, and I've got lots of lights. If I don't fold those lights up, it'll be a bloody shit show next year trying to put them back on the tree, right? We all know what Christmas lights can do. We want to fold it and roll it back in nicely so that next year it can come out nicely. That is energy. So you can either have a bundle of Christmas lights that are all meshed up and knotted and you're having to untangle, and the entanglement is, and this is key, the entanglement is the mind energies getting in the way of the universe delivering it to you. When it's all just goes around the tree without any tangles, it's easy, it's seamless. That is manifestation. Don't ask me why I'm talking about Christmas lights, but anyway. I love to I just bring these things in. Like I say, I'm in flow. I guess my point is here is that if your purpose is coming online, or you really want some help, one with purpose, I've got a soul purpose. I'm working with people in this space, and you can certainly reach out to me on that, but you can jump on my website. The other thing is that if you just want to go all in and you're so over and exhausted and tired, and you want to learn how to balance this energy as well as create this beautiful lifestyle for yourself, start with the balancing. I've got this package that I've put out. It'll be in the comments section. You can click on it down there and check it out. It's got the Ascension to Union Masterclass. There's lots of one-on-one coaching with me. There's a lot in it. And I've done that, and I'm only having limited spots because of my own capacity. I want to be able to give the best of me. And so that is something that I'm working on. And yeah, I've got some amazing people that have signed up, and I'm super excited for them because I want you to feel my frequency, and I will be activating you at a frequency level, because that's what we do. This is so amazing, this journey. And I know some of you are going to go, but it's hard, Kathleen. You can keep telling yourself that story. You can hold on to my frequency and know that you can change, because I'm not anyone unique and special. I'm just another soul that's been awakened, and to help elevate the consciousness of this planet. That's all I'm here doing. And you are equally no different to me. We are all one and the same. Anyway, sending lots and lots of love.